Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, glad to see you. Welcome to my channel. Before going to discuss, I'd like to introduce myself first. My name is Lydia Putri Permatasari and you can call me Lydia. And I'm from Raja Ali Haji Maritime University. Alright everyone, I will review about the contents of the journal Students' Learning Strategies for Developing Speaking Ability by Sofyan Agani, Dian Fajrina, and Rizaldi Hanifa from Syiah Kuala University Banda Aceh, Indonesia. And I will introduce the authors one by one. First, Sofyan Agani. Sofyan Agani was born in PDA Aceh in 1960. He completed his bachelor's degree in the study program of English Education of Syiah Kuala University. He graduated his master's degree from the University of Wales, UK. He obtained his doctoral degree from Universitas Negeri Jakarta or Jakarta State University. He is a senior lecturer in the study program for English Education, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Syiah Kuala University. He is also the head of the English Language Department for the postgraduate programs of Syiah Kuala University. Second, Dian Fajrina. She graduated from the study programs of English Education of Syiah Kuala University. She completed her master's degree in Flinders University, Australia. Presently, she is a lecturer in the study programs for English Education, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Syiah Kuala University. Last, Rizaldi Hanifa. He was born in Banda Aceh in 1991. He completed his bachelor's degree at the study programs of English Education, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education at Syiah Kuala University in 2014. He is currently a freelance English teacher in Banda Aceh. So now I will introduce to you guys about Abstract the Journal. This study was done to study the learning strategies used by both low and high performance speaking students in developing their speaking skills, as well as the differences between the learning strategies used by both groups of learners. The reason for conducting this research was the fact that the competency of many students in speaking English was still considered unsatisfactory in Banda Aceh. We postulate that one aspect involved in the process of developing speaking skills was the learning strategies used by the learners. In the study, the data was collected through field research by means of documents, questionnaires, and interviews. The result of this study indicated that high-performance speaking students had better balance using all kinds of learning strategies: memory, cognitive, compensatory, metacognitive, affective, and social. For enhancing their speaking skills, the same could not be found with low-performance speaking students. Next, for language learning strategies. All language learners use language learning strategies in their learning process. From the many different strategies, there are many options from which. Second, classification of language learning strategies. Language learning strategies have been classified by many researchers. For the first, memory strategies. Strategies that help learners store and retrieve new information. Cognitive strategies. Strategies that enable learners to understand and produce new language by many different means. Third, compensation strategies. Strategies that aid learners in overcoming knowledge gaps and continuing to communicate authentically. And the fifth, metacognitive strategies. Strategies that help learners to regulate their own cognitive abilities and to focus. plan and evaluate their progress as they move toward communicative competence. And the last six, social strategies. Strategies that provide increased interaction and more empathic understanding. She adds that all appropriate language learning strategies contribute to main goal, becoming communicatively competent. This research study was conducted at High School Number 3 or Sekolah Menengah Atas Negeri 3 in Banda Aceh. The subjects of this study were the second-year students at Seman 3, Banda Aceh, who had either low or high speaking performance results. The reason why they chose students from the second year was because they had been learning English for a longer period of time and had several years of experience in learning speaking. The focus of the study was on 16 students selected from all 4 classes, 4 students from each class. There were thus 8 students for each criterion, low or high speaking performance. The selection was done according to the information from the teacher that the students selected had given either high or low speaking performance. It was based on the student speaking achievement not by the teacher during the teaching or learning process. The students were considered high performers according to the certain indicators. They also conducted interviews with both students who had high and low speaking performance. This was conducted to confirm the subjects' learning strategies. They used an interview involving self-observation, which enabled the learners to think about what they generally do when faced with a familiar language task. The subjects were asked 5 questions, namely, what do you do to improve your pronunciation? What do you do to improve your vocabulary? What do you do to make your grammar better? What do you do to improve your fluency and speaking? What do you do to improve your comprehension in speaking? During the interview, data was recorded using a handphone recorder. These results indicate that high speaking performance students seem to be more aware of their language needs. Thus, they tend to utilize strategies that would help them master the target language through practicing, reasoning, and analyzing, as well as strategies that allow them to control their own learning through planning strategies and evaluating results. Moreover, these learners spend a great deal of time exercising to get control over their emotions and attitudes through increasing. Alright everyone, this is last element from this presentation. Conclusion. If it is seen from frequency, high speaking performance students usually use all 6 strategy aspects, namely memory, cognitive, compensation, metacognitive, affective, and social strategies for enhancing their speaking skills more equally. They had more balance in their use of the various strategies. Meanwhile, the low-performance students tended to focus more on employing compensation and social strategies than on memory, cognitive, metacognitive, and affective strategies to enhance their speaking skills. Thus, the low-performance speaking students need to focus more on improving other learning speaking strategies and not be too focused on only compensation and social strategies. Okay guys, that's all for today. Thank you for your participate and attention. Apologize me if I have some mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and see you.